So we're just getting ready to go in the bush for 10 days with Cedar Lake Outfitters.
We just landed at our lake, and Joel gave me tags for mountain caribou, moose, mountain grizzly bear, black bear, and wolves. This is every hunter's dream. I truly am living the lifestyle I've always dreamed of. And not just a lifestyle, I'm sharing it with a gorgeous girl, and we share the same passions. A level of love you can't explain until you're a daddy. It's all of these things tied into a world that I live for, that we live for. A world filled with magnificent creatures and adventure. A world I just can't live without.
He is unbelievable. Are you kidding me? Kawaii. How exciting was that? How exciting was that?
Look at his brown tongue! Oh, he's so wicked.
He just stood up and looked the other way. The moment we've been waiting for so long. Better do it.
Stealth Cam proudly presents Live to Hunt with Cody and Kelsey.
So we're just getting ready to go in the bush for 10 days with Cedar Lake Outfitters and my good buddy, Joel Wilkinson. Now, he was just making fun of ginger kids, and I don't know if you've seen his beard, but every time I'm on this dock, I am giddy like a little kid going to his first hockey game. Very, very excited. It's going to be a good time. How big is the moose going to be that we're going to shoot?
Well, we're going to hope it barely fits in this plane. That's what we'll aim for.
Unbelievable. And what about the caribou?
Same thing. You might have to split the skull just to get it in. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
And what about the grizzly bear? And the wolf?
Should be able to wrap around the whole plane.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Maybe send in a 747 to pick up all my goodies.
Sounds good.
Okay, bud.
Awesome. Have a good trip.
Thank you so much.
This marked my fourth adventure with the Wilkinson family in their Cedar Lake outfitting territory. The quality of animals and the hunting experiences I've had in this beautiful land are irreplaceable. But what I've valued the most from these adventures are the people and the friendships that have come from spending time in the backcountry with serious hunters that share the same passion. The flight in this year was no different from any other. My face was smeared up against the window, admiring the Yukon's beauty from the air. Looking down, your imagination runs wild trying to envision what this amazing country has in store for you.
I just can't believe we have to come here for 10 days.
Oh no.
And just be stuck here. Handcuffed to the Yukon.
We were coming in on a hunter changeover flight, meaning we had the chance to meet the previous hunter, listen to his stories, and admire his hard-earned trophies. This just added rocket fuel to an already raging fire. Since you can't hunt for 6 hours after flying, I spent time doing what you do in camp, eating fresh caribou, and catching up with my old friend Dave O'Farrell and Joel's Uncle Don, the last Wilkinson in the family I had yet to hunt with. Somehow on this trip I got 2 veteran guides with combined experience of 68 years, an opportunity I didn't quite feel was deserved, but I was grateful nonetheless.
Live to Hunt with Cody and Kelsey is brought to you by Stealth Cam, proven. Conquest Sense, the makers of Evercom. Vortex Optics, the force of optics. 10-Point Crossbow Technologies, there is no substitute. Black Eagle Arrows, superior carbon technology. Rage and Squincher.
just getting ready this morning to go out for our first day. And there's a cow and a calf moose out in the water. And there's a nice bull caribou. And Dave and Dawn think that that's a perfect sign that there's wolves around, harassing them because they all come down to the water because that's the only place that they're safe if a pack of wolves is after them.
So many fellow hunters look a gift horse in the mouth on opening day, but there's no way I was going to. This caribou was a beauty, and with the added bonus of attracting predators, I was on a mission.
Oh, I don't like that. A really nice old caribou bull. Heavy. Not gonna score real big, but lots of character. I want to get close on him. Look at that. That is beautiful. "79 yards. I don't want to shoot any farther than 50 yards. Story of my life, being a little bit too short. It's funny, when I first saw that bull out in the lake, everybody had to talk me into going for him. And when he was 79 yards away, carefully fading away, I loved him to death. He's a nice bull.
Exactly part of the reason you don't lift a gift horse's lip in the Yukon. Things can change so fast. By noon, we slammed into weather's brick wall and were shut down for days.
That's a really cool old bull. Big body, just one shovel. I'm madly in love with really big tops. He didn't have real big tops. Amazing country. I was just looking through my razor, trying to find a big old bull, and I saw something white and shiny. And I got looking at it, and I realized it's gotta be a moose skull. As I'm looking through my scope, I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna run over and grab that sucker. And once I took my eye away from the scope and looked and realized how far away it is, I would probably need to pack about 4 lunches if I wanted to run over there and grab that skull. So now I'm trying to talk my good buddies Dave and Dawn into taking me over there on the way home. Dawn, did you hear that?
I heard.
Dave, did you hear?
I heard Dawn say he heard, so I guess we're going.
I get to go check out my first Alaskan Yukon moose of the trip. Hey Dawn, there's sweat stains on that hat, hey?
Probably. Yeah.
I'm proud of you, bud.
Yeah. I know. I would wear it all the time going to play hockey and get everybody mad at me.
Why can't we get one?
Well, you gotta be special.
You're special, Tom. You can have all the hats you want.
Wow, big old bull moose. That is so cool. Great big tines. Who knows what put him in this state? I don't know if it was winter time or a grizzly bear or what it was, or another bull moose. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Been hiking for caribou all morning. Decided to take a little tea break / squincher break, and we're gonna keep on. The amount of country we can see right now is absolutely crazy.
Aside from being such beautiful creatures, another good thing about hunting caribou is typically you see lots. In a way, it can be a bad thing too. It makes it hard to commit to the one standing in front of you when you just never know what could be over the next rise.
Just found a mound where a grizzly bear buried, obviously, a caribou. And Dave and Dawn just said this is one of the biggest mounds they've ever seen before. And to a guy that so badly wants to shoot his very first grizzly bear, I wish this was just buried 2 days ago and there was something still in this pile of dirt and there was still a grizzly bear guarding it. Yeah, he's sure.
To this day, I have no idea what happened on this bull. He was coming in on a string, then stopped on a dime, turned around and started going the other way. He didn't act spooked, but wanted nothing more to do with the pretty sounding cow hiding behind our tree.
not sure what happened there. I don't know if the wind swirled. It didn't look like it swirled. Whatever it was. He didn't like it. I would have done the happy dance all the way across this beaver pond if we'd have got a poke at him. I thought we were going to. I can't believe we didn't.
Live to Hunt with Cody and Kelsey is brought to you by Stealth Cam, proven. Limb Saver, products that work. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Diamond Archery, cutting edge innovations. Walker's Game Ear, protect it or lose it. Cooper Firearms of Montana and Heater Bodysuit.
We got the exact same caribou bull out on the water as we did 3 or 4 days ago. Same bull. And it's gotta be from wolves. He keeps watching the shoreline. This is really a second chance at life because I want to shoot a grizzly bear in the worst way. Worst way. And the best way to get a grizzly bear is to have shot a moose or a caribou right at the lake here. Which means this caribou is very, very valuable. He's beautiful. To have a second chance at just him is huge because he's the nicest caribou we've seen. But to have also a chance at a grizzly bear if we get him, oh, I can't even believe it. Just coming across the shoreline, and we got a glimpse of his antlers and his bum in these willows up here, 150 yards away. And there's wolf tracks in the frost, which would explain why he was out there this morning.
All along the flooded willow flat, there was a thin layer of ice, making it nearly impossible to sneak any closer to this bull.
Oh, right here, down. A mountain caribou with my Cooper rifle. First animal I've ever shot with a Cooper. In the most beautiful land on earth. He was gonna run up, and then I've never caribou grunted. One time I was in Quebec, and it was in the rut with Jim, and there was caribou running by us, and they were so I just tried that, and I don't know if that's what saved it, but he came back down to the water and gave us a shot. To think that I'm 34 years old, and I have 2 guides with 68 years experience right behind us, helping us. To have a cameraman here helping me, to have all these people helping me create opportunities like this. Sometimes I just don't understand why I'm the one that gets these opportunities, but I'm forever grateful. That caribou is beautiful. Even when there's not an animal in your Vortex scope and you're just out cruising, exploring in this land, you gotta pinch yourself. It's so beautiful. It's the last frontier. I try my very best to come up to the Yukon every single year because it's my favorite place on earth to hunt. And Joel Wilkinson has given me that opportunity. It's absolutely unbelievable. I got a 141-yard shot with my Cooper rifle at this beautiful caribou, and he was down in about 5 or 6 jumps. So that's exactly what a hunter hopes for. I'm over the moon excited with this mountain caribou. But now, just kind of the calm after the storm, thinking about our opportunity at a giant grizzly bear on the edge of this lake, not far from the cabin, makes my rubber boots shake. Fellas, it's an honor and a privilege to be up here and to be hunting with you folks in this beautiful land, and I thank you so very, very much.
Our privilege too, Cody.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Thank you, Don.
On so many hunts, this gorgeous caribou bull would be the final chapter, but I still had a pocket full of tags.
To follow the Live to Hunt team, join us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. To order Live to Hunt DVDs and apparel, go to livetohunt.com. Next week's previews brought to you by Squincher, hydration that works.
Next week, we're continuing the hunt in the Yukon with Joel Wilkinson's Cedar Lake Outfitters. This show documents one of the most amazing single days I've ever had in the wild. On this adventure, I fulfill a lifelong dream that I will never ever forget. This episode is headed for the Live to Hunt Top 5, and I'm saving you a seat in the front row. You better be there.